Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share a first look at the new Colourpop Limoncello Collection. So I'll be showing some swatches, some comparisons, and also a look using some of the new products. I just love the design of this collection overall. It really has that Italian coastal vibe and it just makes me think of spring with all of the fresh pops of color. So let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. So first up is the Limoncello palette itself, and the packaging is absolutely stunning. I think the design just really captures southern Italy, and I love the blue, yellow, and green together. The combination is just so pretty. Inside you have mostly warm tone neutrals with those same pops of yellow, green, and blue from the outer packaging, so I think it ties together really well. Also, there are no pressed glitters and no matte shades with the micro glitter. There's also no Super Shock shadows in this palette. So what we have here are just your standard matte and shimmer shades. The pan sizes do appear to be larger than their other 12 pan palettes, which you will see when I do some comparisons, but the palette holds the same exact amount of product as the others, so I'm guessing the pans just must be a little bit shallower. Altogether, it has 5 shimmer shades and 7 mattes, and I thought they all swatched really well. This is Colourpop's usual formula. I didn't notice anything different from previous palettes. So now let's go ahead and take a look at some palettes from my collection that I thought might look similar. I have to admit this was a little bit tricky. So the first one is the Colourpop Sandstone palette. This is the first one I thought of as possibly being similar. It appears to have all those same warm tone neutrals and even the green shade, but it is missing the blue. So when I saw them swatch together, it pretty much confirmed to me that if you have the Sandstone palette, you have most of the shades in Limoncello also, except for that pop of blue, of course. Next, I also thought of the California Love palette because it has those warm yellowy tone neutrals again. It doesn't have the green, the blue, or the yellow shimmer, but I think a lot of the neutral shades really match up well, and I think that's where this palette just gets a little bit tricky to dupe because we all have those warm neutrals in our collection, but they don't always have that blue, yellow, and green that the Limoncello palette has, so having those all in the same palette is a little bit more unique. I also wanted to see how the Naked Honey palette from Urban Decay matched up, and I know it doesn't have the blue, but it does have those yellowy browns again, and also the greenish yellow shade as well. And this one did end up being pretty close. I think the green one in the Limoncello palette is way more green, but the warm yellow-based neutrals really do line up nicely. So those were the 3 palettes in my collection that I thought were the most similar, but again, this really was not an easy palette to dupe. So now let's move on to the shadow stick set. These are mini eyeshadow sticks and you get 4 different shades, 2 shimmer finishes and 2 matte, and they coordinate with the palette really well. I don't think these will be sold individually, at least not yet, but maybe sometime in the future they'll make them a permanent part of the line. I hope so. I think they'll make a really nice complement to any looks that you're creating, and they feel really soft, creamy, and blendable. So from left to right, the shades are Style and Ease, Citrus Squeeze, Check Please, and Cool Breeze. Next up, Colourpop has also released 3 new shades of their blush sticks, which I was really excited about because we haven't seen any of these in a while and I was afraid they were going to actually discontinue them. So I was glad to see them come out with some new ones. I think these shades also coordinate really nicely with the collection. They're just such pretty warm tone colors. So from left to right, we have Cottage Life, Picnic Time, and Coastal Drive. Next, we also have 4 Luxe Gloss shades. I really love this formula and how cushiony soft it is. They just feel so nice on your lips. The colors can look a little bit deeper in the tube than they do once they're applied, so they are a bit on the sheer side, but I think that's pretty typical for a lip gloss overall. So from left to right, the shades are Italian Ice, which is the clear one. Then we have Panna Cotta, Gelato, and Biscotti. They also released a new brush set to go along with this collection, and I think it is super cute. It comes in a yellow pouch with a drawstring closure, and inside you get 1 face brush and 4 eyeshadow brushes. They feel very soft and plush, and I actually used the eyeshadow brushes for the look that I created at the end of this video, and I thought they performed really well. I like their brushes overall, and I think they are especially great for the price. The last few products are from Fourth Ray Beauty and Soul Body. So first up we have the Glisten Up Face Mist from Fourth Ray Beauty. This one is just a refreshing face mist with microfine glitter inside. So when you spritz it on, it kind of gives you a bit of glow. Next up is the Soul Shimmering Dry Oil. This has a tropical coconut scent and it needs to be shaken up because the shimmer inside the formula tends to settle down to the bottom. So when you apply this to your skin, it basically deposits all of these multi-dimensional shimmer particles. So if you like a really glittery look, you're definitely going to like this one. Last but not least is the Soul Glow Oil. This one's a body oil that's a bit more subtle than the Shimmering Dry Oil. So this one gives you a beautiful golden glow to your skin with just a hint of those shimmer particles, so it's not quite as intense. Between the two, this one is definitely my favorite. Alright, so now let's check out the look that I created with the Limoncello collection. So first I'm applying the Luxe gloss in the shade Biscotti. This one is the deepest shade, but on me it sheers out to a light brownish nude with a hint of pink. Next up in the palette, I'm applying the shade Amalfi, which is the matte yellow shade, and I'm using the crease brush that came in the brush set, and I just thought this shade blended really nicely. It is a little bit on the powdery side, but at the same time, it didn't have a lot of fallout, and I thought that it was nicely pigmented. It didn't blend away, and I thought that it had nice adherence to my skin. Next, to deepen up the outer corner, I'm also dipping into the shade The Grotto with the smaller pointed brush from the brush set, and I'm putting this shade just in my outer V and also dragging it back across my crease a little bit lower than the yellow shade that I applied first. And then for my lid, I'm applying the green shade Capri with my finger. This one is so buttery and smooth. It goes on really beautifully without much fallout at all, so I really liked this one a lot. Next, I'm going to be using the shadow stick in Cool Breeze, which is actually really close to my lid color. It's almost identical, and I'm putting this one in the inner corner of my eye and then also along the lower lash line from the inner corner just to about the halfway point. And then I'm using the matte shadow stick in Check Please, which is that beautiful kind of terracotta orange, and I'm applying this one to the outer half of my lower lash line, and this one looks very, very similar to the shade that I put in my outer corner. So I feel like these shadow sticks really complement the eyeshadows well. And then last but not least, I'm using the blush stick in the shade Coastal Drive. This one is the deepest shade, and I think this one matches the lip color really well too. And although this is the deepest shade, I found that it does go on a little bit sheer. I had to build up several layers to get the intensity that I wanted. And also, these blush sticks don't completely dry down all the way like the Super Shock blushes do, so they don't really have a matte finish. They're just slightly more dewy. Alright, so here's the finished look. I really like the warm yellows and browns with the pop of green. I think this is such a pretty combination. I think everything applied really nicely, so I'm really happy with the way that everything turned out. So overall, I'm really liking the new Colourpop Limoncello collection. I think the palette is beautiful, and while the shades individually aren't really unique, I think the specific combination in one palette was pretty hard to dupe. I also love the new shadow sticks and the new shades of the blush sticks and Luxe glosses as well. I would love to hear your thoughts down below if you're planning on picking up anything from the new collection or if you're planning to skip it altogether. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also, please don't forget to subscribe if you like makeup reviews and comparisons. I do those all the time on my channel. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.